Hello, everyone. Oh, my days. I need to stop. I need to stop because I need to change my camera. All right, guys. So we are back. You already looking at the thumbnail. I am here with another reactionary video because I've got a lot of things to discuss on my channel um, and on social media. It was brought to my attention by some people, or it came up also in my feed, the whole idea and concept of decentering men. Now, if you've been following my channel, you already probably have an idea as to what my position is going to be on this topic, but I just want to kind of give you guys some insight as to why I think the way I do when it comes to this particular topic, and maybe give you also some things to think about and kind of just challenge your perspectives a little bit. If you guys are already subscribed to my channel, welcome back. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so that you could be updated on all things Nehanda educate me as they progress. As you already know, if you haven't known already, I will not be uploading every day as per usual because of time scheduling. But when I do upload, you want to make sure that you get the information as soon as possible. So let's get into this reactionary video, shall we? Let me figure out how to share my screen so that you can see what I'm looking at, and we can get into this. Usually, typically, this one's going to be kind of long. So if it's a Saturday and you're checking this out, or if it's Friday night and you're looking at what I'm looking at, then, grab yourself a cup of tea, some wine, a beverage of some sort, and let's talk about this because I'm very concerned. Let me start there. I am extremely concerned about this topic, and I'm going to get into why as the video progresses, but let's just get into it, shall we?
Husband and children. And these are young women who have been perpetually lied to. And I'm just telling you, if they do a follow up at 50, they're not going to be happy. They're going to be working late. They're going to be lonely. They're going to have 7 cats and a couple of STDs. And then at Christmas, they're going to be all alone, very sad. And what they're not going to post is, I'm winning.
By now, you're all aware of the loneliness epidemic
So let me
going
just
on with single men.
hang on a second.
And what I find really interesting is the amount.
So let me just get into that statement because this is actually a study that is being done right now, that is about women who have a certain level of happiness, right? Like the happiness factor. What makes a woman happy? How many women are happy? How many single women are happy versus how many single men are happy? And it is true that women of a certain age, and I think that we need to stress that part because in psychology and in the research sciences, you have to give really hard evidence to back up your hypothesis. And one of the parts of doing a hypothesis is that you give all of the variables and elements of your hypothesis. A lot of people don't actually read these articles thoroughly to know that it's only women of a particular set schedule, not set schedule, but set age or demographic actually benefit from the happiness of being single because you're actually young enough to enjoy said happiness, and later on your marriage or relationship tends to go in a different direction. And so women start to see the benefit of marriage as they get older because of social constraints that allow men to stay in their marriage because they are at a point and stage in their lives where they have become accustomed to that married life and have a certain level of duty, if you may, as well as an established relationship and way of being married. And so while men benefit from marriage earlier on, women tend to benefit the most in the longer run because of the level of security and other things that come along with that. Now, what he then says is extremely true is that you will see the happiness factor, shockingly so, go down with women as they start to approach ages like 45, up even as young as 45, where women are still pretty much fit and able to, get out there. And a lot of us are looking not so old. But you will find that you, as a 40-year-old going out competing with 20-year-olds for attention, or maybe not even attention, but just being able to enjoy life, it is not as as clear cut, if you may, as it was maybe 10, 15 years prior. So let me just interject that right there and add to that comment. Moving right along to the woman here who's clapping back, I presume. I'm watching this for the first time.
Men that are coming to their aid. And rather than trying to encourage these men to be better catches, to encourage these men to be better partners, they'd rather try to guilt trip and shame women for not choosing them. Whether it's Tyler Perry saying, even if all he could do is pay the light bill, if he loves you, take him. And now you have this pastor. Pastor sounds like he's listening to these manosphere podcasts. Even the pastor is saying that you're going to die alone. Even the pastor is saying...
I'm really concerned about this, because this goes back to the thing about utility. You all already know how I feel about utilizing men for what it is you can get out of them, because she's saying clearly that if he's paying the light bill, if he loves you, that should be enough. Like, women should be settling, and love is just not even up for like consideration. I think that if a man has a certain level of financial capacity, however, has a character that speaks volumes, then we need to really start to ask ourselves what it is we're really doing, if that weighs nothing in the dating market. Like, that, to me, the fact that she just said that openly, like, oh, all he does is pay the light bill, but he loves me, like, it was such a trivial thing to have. That sense of loyalty says to me that this woman has never been in a situation where she has experienced anything but heartache and pain. Just my guess. I'm guesstimating at this point, and I will admit that I could be wrong. I don't know this young lady from a bag of rice, so I'm just saying.
Well, get you some cats. You didn't get that out of the Bible, Pastor, but you did get it from a podcast. Why not tell these men to be better? Why not tell them to be more emotionally intelligent and to help out around the house and to be caring and thoughtful and loving and to not think...
See, this is the problem with modern women. They don't know. They know what they do. They have no idea. Did she not just say that love is not enough and then turn right around and said that be loving and caring? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What more do you want from me? This is ridiculous. I'm very much tempted to just like fast forward because she's making absolutely no sense. But I really needed to play her part, because this right here, this right here, this right here, this is the anthem. This is the modern women's anthem. We do not know what the heck we want. Let's move on.
Time to stop actually looking for men, because what kind of men are we going to be even finding if we went out looking? What kind of guys are we finding these days with all this podcast going on, and to the extent that pastors are preaching this in churches, that women are going to be lonely? Anyway, I compiled a few clips and I want you to take a look. Okay, these are some of the reasons why women are choosing to be single. Let's get it.
But the thing is, but you know, that's wild, you know, like women actually say, I'm single by choice. They have more choice than anyone. Right. So a woman technically should never be single. The right choice is what she should say. I'm single because I'm waiting for the right guys to pull out. Because I don't. But there's no right guy, because the right guy was with her and she probably messed it up. Listen, like there are women out there who are anywhere from 35, 40, 45 who can generally convince you he's coming. And no one knows who this guy is. Exactly. But to them, he's coming. Yeah. Where? And a woman will get so, a woman will take so much else. See, the longer a woman's single, she's going to start to convince herself of things that she didn't even believe herself. Like,
a video that went viral recently.
That's true.
About how women are prioritizing peace over low-grade, low-effort relationships with men. And the number one comment that
I've seen this
was, well, fine, if you can live without us, we're just not going to protect you anymore. So first of all, who exactly are you protecting us from? Is it Sarah that we're afraid is going to break into our home and assault us? Or is it men? is it men that you're protecting us from? Second, when women say that we'd rather have peace and safety, we're not talking about physical safety. We're talking about emotional safety. The reason there is an epidemic of lonely, depressed men is because women would rather be alone than in an emotionally unsafe relationship. I feel that we're in emotional danger when we can't be vulnerable and express how we feel, or being constantly criticized or put down or ignored. Or all the men run to the comments and say, well, we want to be valued too. Yes, and you deserve that. But why are 72% of divorces initiated by women? And why statistically are women thriving in singledom and men are not? It's because,
you see, this goes back to the very point that I was talking about with selective hearing and selective reading. Because if you look at the statistics, they do not say that specifically. They say women of a particular age and demographic benefit and are happier when they are single. But that is not the case across the board 100% from the beginning of life to the end of life. That is not what's going on. And men are seeing themselves as they're single because men are more pragmatic on a whole in general, not all men, but there are for the most part more pragmatic and logical in understanding of the need to be in a relationship. And women have, for the most part, opted out of taking personal responsibility for this low grade, low effort relationship that they chose. Nobody put a gun to your head and say, you got to be with this F boy. You got to be with Mr. Gaslighter. You got to be with so-and-so. You are the common denominator in all your relationship choices outside of the parents you have. Fact. And I can't believe that I am being demonized for pointing that out. It is the most liberating feeling to be able to get to this point. And I cannot believe that women don't want this, because I knew that I wanted it. I wouldn't admit it openly because I would be crucified by my feminist sisterin. But when I finally realized that I was the common denominator in all failed relationships and I was the one that had to change, I was liberated and automatically, like I told you, I'm telling y'all, it was within a week I met my husband with like that. That's how easy it is. But for these women, they rather blame everybody else. It is fascinating. I'm just like flabbergasted. It's my word. Move on. Let's continue to listen to this because this is the anthem, and I want y'all to hear the anthem while I criticize.
Are willing to put in the work, be self-reflective, and do what it takes to show up, and men simply are not.
So are you going to show up and be self-reflective?
Without a man, the clearer you start seeing things, and the clearer you can see, baby, the worse it is. But no, seriously, when you stop operating from a place of, oh, I need a relationship, I need a man, and you start really looking at these men for who they are and what they have to offer and what they can really bring to your life, the quicker you will start to realize that a lot of them are just not worth all of what we thought that they were. This is not me hating on men. This is not that. This is me defending single women. That's it. The longer that you go without a man, the less stuff that you start to tolerate, and the better you are at detecting when a man is really not worth your time. When your desire for partnership stops overriding your desire for genuine respect and genuine love, then you will start to see things so differently, and it is going to change you. You're going to make decisions that you probably would not have made before, and you're going to be a lot less willing to accept and settle for just anything. And the longer that you go being alone, at least in my experience, the more you enjoy being alone. And then that means when a man does come along, he's going to have to actually do something. You're going to have to make a real difference in my life, and you're going to have to make it very clear, because I am no longer just looking to be booed up just for the sake of being booed up. No, sir, you're going to have to come over here with something tangible, something real, and something genuine. Otherwise, I can.
So this is the other issue, is that we speak in such generalistic terms. Like, she sounds like she's really smart and she's saying a lot, but she's actually saying a whole lot of nothing, because something tangible and something genuine and real love is really not telling me as to how it is a man is actually going to demonstrate to her because men work in specifics. Take out the trash twice a week, make love to me once a month. I mean, I'm just throwing hypotheticals out there. I'm not saying go do that. Please don't. Please don't. You need to be talking to your woman about what it is love looks like in the day-to-day. Because as a married woman, I will tell you, marriage and love is a job. You show up for your job. Sometimes you're doing your best. Other times you are not on the job. You are not doing your best job because life happens. But once you understand that your marriage, your relationship is a part of your life, you are successful because you are clear about what it is that is expected of you, because that has been clearly and specifically communicated. And I had to learn this because I'm like her that's just going to be like, yeah, you know, you have to be genuine and you have to bring something to the table. What is the something you have to bring to the table? Roses? Socks? You know, knitted sweaters? What's something? You know, 100K a year? And then work within that, the reality of your situation and what it is the market is saying that you actually deserve, and understand what the rules of that dynamic are. We are just too fly-by-night flabbergasted about this one thing. You know what? Continue decentering, because you obviously don't even know what you want anyways. Like, I can't. I just can't.
It's your fault. It's your fault. A woman should just shut up and look cute and nod your head. It's your fault. Who want me to critique them right now on the spot? You do? Come here right here. Come right here. Come right here. Now she said she gonna do this, didn't she? Did I call her out? Did she come on herself? All right, so you need to lose weight. Find a good bra. You need to go to Intimates. It's called Intimates. I took my wife. My wife knew nothing about anything. My wife knew nothing because she came from a family who didn't know anything about anything. I took my wife to a place that we don't buy bras at Victoria, not black women that got large breasts. So you need to get your bra made. And it's not that expensive.
I thought it was...
Baby, you get a good bra, it's almost like having a breast lift.
Fellas, I don't know if you are intentional.
I don't understand why this is a bad thing. Like, this is free. Look. This is dumb. This is supposed to be the reason why women are single, because they can't be told the truth by him. If I were going to buy bread and I wanted to know what is the best bread I can get, like, what's hot in these streets when it comes to the type of bread? Like, what's up? Would I talk to a baker or would I talk to a pilot? Like, this is advice from a married man who I presumably is a happily married man, who is giving her free advice from a man's perspective. And this is supposed to be insulting. He didn't even call her fat. He just said, you need to lose some weight. Because men like women that are fit and have, you know, their proportions correct. And men are visual, and this is the visual optic that works for men. What's wrong with saying that? We openly criticize men about things that they have no control over, like height. Men can't control how well they could to an extent if you got a couple of 100,000 grand that you could like extend your knees and stuff. But we openly criticize men about things that they physically cannot help. And it's bad that, wow. Maybe there's no hope. Maybe there really is no hope for us. Let me see what she got to say. I don't know if you're intentionally or subconsciously being confused.
By what we mean when we say we would rather stay single, but it's not because we don't want a relationship. It's not because we don't want companionship, partnership. The problem is, why would we get into a relationship specifically with a man when it does not improve the conditions of our lives, or at the very least maintain the status of life that I currently provide to myself? Why? So if I'm financially stable, emotionally stable, if I go to therapy, if I have taken the time to build a genuine connection with people around me, a community, why would I want a relationship with a man who has not even taken steps to improve his own life, but want to be in a relationship with me? Why?
Fair enough.
If a woman has been single for a long time, say like 1, 2, maybe even 3 years,
Fair enough. I mean, I would like to know, like with the other young lady, when you talk about therapy, financial success, not everybody needs therapy. Not everybody needs a lot of money. Like my husband, he has his one suit. He has his favorite sweatpants. He has his favorite things that he likes to wear. He's not a very complaining person when it comes to the aesthetic that he portrays in the way he dresses, because we don't go out that much. Why? Because we have financial goals that stop us from spending a lot of money on entertainment. I have come to terms with this lifestyle because we are building something together. When you get into a relationship, you have to define these kinds of things by sometimes the last minute detail. What does it mean? How much money does that look like? What is it that's financial stability for you? What is emotional stability for you? What is it that these are the things that break down relationship. It's a lack of clarity in one's person and expectation that makes a relationship fail. And we women, the dominant, the common denominator in all our relationships are not ever clear for the most part about what those specifics are. We have so much weight and power when we come into the relationship as to clearly explain to a partner, potential partner, about what our expectations of that partner is and give them the opportunity for opting out. Don't criticize a man because he's not on your level, and don't hold it against him if he does not want the same things as you, because you yourself, who has never been in a marriage, probably, I will go on a stretch and say that a lot of you have not been in any successful relationships that end on peaceful terms. And this is the reason why you have no reference point as to what it is actually works, because you are functioning from a place of hurt and pain. When you approach a relationship with your best foot forward and in good faith, you actually change your attitude as to what it is you're willing to give, work with, do, and cooperate along the lines of. And I think a lot of us as women across the board, Black, white, and indifferent, are very, very much lacking in that understanding. This is the reason why 72% of marriages end in divorce in America, is because we are more concerned about the actual wedding than we are actually concerned with the marriage. I can say that because I belong to the very small percentage of marriages that have worked so far, knock on wood, because we took 6 months out of our lives when we decided, hey, I like you, you like me, I find you hot, you find me hot, let's see if we can actually make this a permanent thing, by going into marriage preparation and taking the time out every Saturday to commit to just that, preparing ourselves for the day-to-day hassles, because marriages are under attack. Now, this is going to be a conversation that I will be getting into in a further segment, but I digress. I just wanted to bring that up to this point because, yes, I will be commenting on almost everybody's point of view in this video, so it's going to be quite a long one. Stay tuned. Let's continue.
It's not because she's insane. Well, maybe she is a little bit, but who isn't, right? It's because she's wildly intelligent. Let me tell you why. If you're not already following me, I suggest you hit that follow button. I make videos like this every single day. I've said this before on this platform, and I'm going to say it again. The higher she is in IQ level, the more likely it is for her to be single, because she's not going to waste her time, her energy, and her peace on dumbasses. She realizes that it's better just to be alone than date the wrong person, and I think we all should keep that in mind. She needs a man to bring something to the table as much as she's bringing, right? If not more. Women are also looking for men who could actually teach them something. If you can't teach her something or push her to be a better version of herself, you're not really providing value in her life. Trust me when I say this, coming from a single person who's been single for some years now, it's better to be alone than to be miserable every single day of your life with someone who's the wrong person. It's not worth jumping from relationship to relationship. You got to believe that the right person will come, and if they don't, at least you're not being cheated on. We'll always keep that in mind. Work on yourself. Grow alone first, and then the right person will eventually gravitate towards you.
All right, so I think that's the end of the video. The young lady, Priscilla Boye, boy, she then comes on and she says some stuff. I just want to comment on that. Again, he is pandering to the masses, and y'all know I ain't no panda bear, so let's just deal with that first of all. And again, pandering in such a way that is in a familiar language in which women can understand and feel soothed and comforted by. And so his message is definitely going to resonate with a lot of women because it's very vague and not dealing with any specifics. I really hate when people utilize utility, especially when it comes to men. Like, a man is only as valuable as the money and accolades that he can bring into a relationship. You have to understand that men and women are not equal when it comes to what it is they bring to the table. And you have to be very specific about what it is important to you and what it is important to your partner. I don't believe that this whole individualistic movement of finding yourself before you find your partner is really the solution to being able to be in a relationship. Like one of the young ladies said, the longer you are by yourself, the more accustomed you become to being by yourself, which makes it harder, actually, testimony proven here, for you to be in a couple relationship with somebody else. It does not help you to be in a couple relationship. Why? Because people who are accustomed and don't find the need and necessity in relationships will not fight for their relationships, man or woman. And this is the element of relationship and coupling up that everybody needs to feel. We need to feel that passion, and that if you try to walk away, I'm going to fight for you and be there for you. You cannot have the passion and the love and the care if you are centering yourself. The things don't mix. You're centering everything around yourself. You come first, not your relationship. Therefore, you have not actually had the opportunity to prove to the person that you're in this for the long haul. Therefore, you do not qualify for actually making sure that the relationship is sustainable and that you are really serious about commitment. This is something you demonstrate by giving an element of novelty, of passion and need. Love is something that is a yearning and an aching almost in terms of the whole romantic sense, if that's what y'all are looking for. The other thing that I want to say is that when you are talking about self-realization in the space of individualism and individualisticness, you have to be very careful about how those things overlap in terms of what it is you are actually doing for the relationship in self-realization. Yes, of course, on one side, you don't want to be the person that is always going to your partner, and your partner is the person who is your be-all end-all for everything and everyone. But at the same time, there are some elements of your relationship in life that are totally your responsibility, i.e. your breakdown in your relationships are based on the choices that you make on choosing the type of person that does not really fit to you and the things that you want to accomplish in life. I want to make sure that people understand that when people are not coupling up, that it is nobody wins. Men don't win, women don't win. It is a really bad situation for all parties involved, and we need to be starting to be able to find ways in which we can be better people to bring ourselves in the relationship with. Second of all, some of us are just average. All right, relationships are work, and it's nothing that is so spectacular and what is the word in English for besonderes? It is not something so spectacular and special that it is something that only special people can have, which means that if average people can have working relationships, that means that you would also get just very average results. Relationships are the basis of people coupling together to have children, so that children can grow up in a safe environment to feel like they are safe and competent enough to accomplish all their wildest dreams and imagination. And that is the most exponentially extraordinary thing, especially in this day and age where we have so many people, generation after generation, being raised by single parents. It will be the most extremely paradigmical shift in our society to have two-parent households with children coming up in the next generation, because these children will be the extraordinary bunch. And if you can withstand your partner long enough to not make self-realization and self-actualization your number one priority, but make some small sacrifices to cooperate with your partner, both men and women, then you will be amazed, blown away by what you and your partner can accomplish, just for the sake of being able to have the ability to raise a generation of people who are more well-adjusted than you were with your coming out of a dysfunctional family and home. Because honestly, at the end of the day, when we are coming into these situations as broken people, men and women, when it rains on one person, it doesn't rain. I think it was a very popular musician that once said, when the rain falls, it doesn't fall on one house. Bob Marley. And so we don't do anybody any favors when we keep our centering of ourselves, focusing only on ourselves. Singling up men and women does not do anybody any justice. They only hurt the entire brink of society. So getting into some other comments, somebody commented on one of my videos saying that I had said that, what was the issue? What did you say? I was talking about how I was telling men what to do. Yo, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. I share content here based on the things that have helped me and have helped the people that I have spoken to. That's all. Other than that, I cannot really help people outside of the things that I don't know about. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If I can load some of my comments, I will do so right now. See comments. It says here that I only have a few comments, and so I'm gonna continue. Let's continue. Hold on. Yeah, let's continue because I feel like y'all will have something to do this weekend. Come on, guys. Where are all my comments? When the rain fall, it don't fall on one man's house. Not till that. Oh, comments are being removed. Public subscriber count. Okay, so how do I do this? Let's go back to the channel dashboard and see if I can see any comments down here. It says here, you know, here is a comment on my last video, white girls. No, why did it go to edit? Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry, guys. This is not my... comments. Yes, please. Okay, thank you for reviewing my comment. No worries, man. Let's reply to him. Published. I haven't read. See if I have anything else here. Do Black women think that the vast majority of Black men that date Black women... Okay, hang on a second. Wait a minute. Do Black women think that the vast majority of Black men that marry Black women are settling? I always found it strange that even though more Black men date Black women than don't date Black women, the narrative is always on the minority of men that doing what women want rather than celebrating the men who are doing what women want. All right, that was a lot of one thing, two thing, one thing, two thing, one. But I think I get what I think I get the question. I have in my experience, talked to a lot of my sisters, and their point of view is that get away. I just can't, y'all. Their point of view is that they prefer their own men. Like, what's your type? My type is my people. That has been the response collectively that I have seen among Black women. And I don't think that they think that they're settling. And I don't think that they think that Black men are settling when they date white women. I believe that the issue with men and women, like we are unequal in our attraction, is that for men, it is an issue of loyalties and societal okayness, like what's okay in society, right? I believe that men are just wired differently, that if they could have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, that they would, because the need for novelty is higher in men than it is in women. Now, of course, with women, there are some exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, women are more loyal in their ways of relationships, if that makes sense. And of course, while that is changing for the vast majority of women, that has remained the same. I see here, it's funny because being recent studies started at women of all races, including Black women per white man. Ches Sharde covered this in her channel about 2 months ago. Also, not only do the majority of Black women prefer white men over Black men, but code switch when you involve with white men. What is code switching? You also act more feminine and submissive with white men versus Black men. All right, I'm just gonna talk about my experience. Because I haven't been with, me and my husband have been together for a while, and I'm trying to stretch my imagination here. I think that it's not being more feminine. Like, I have brothers, so I do play the princess role a lot in general, because I just think that that's just, I'm the girl and they're the guy and they're there to protect me. I feel like I do know women who are like that they have a way of being when they're with white men. And we jokingly talk about how, should I be saying this? Is this going to be, white men are crazy. All right. So you don't want to, they're like, there's crazy and there's crazy, like Dahmer crazy. And so I'm not sure if I want to like even try to like provoke that. This is funny, haha, but not funny, haha. And I don't think that there's that when you are dealing with a Black man. That's just my unprofessional, unresearched opinion. But I am very curious as to what that actually looks like in real life in terms of what the research shows. So I'm going to have to get back on that. I'm sorry. I know I've been seeing this comment and I've been wanting to respond to it a lot better than I just did. But that's going to have to do for now. And in terms of my response videos, this video has gone way over what I expected it to. So we're going to end this right here. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Please, of course, please always make sure to stay safe and stay free. Until next time, y'all. When the rain falls, don't fall